it look good, look good, make 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 it look good, look good.
All right, this is the Commish Radio Show, making it look good. Music, original music by Janelle Gray. That's right, we are starting a new wave of how we're going to do this show. We're playing local music, and that's what we're going to do. Pump it up just for a little bit. Now, that music that you're hearing, I'm the producer. Well, not the producer. I'm like Joe Jackson, the producer. You know, not the Joe Jackson that y'all been watching in the movies and everything this week. Not that Joe Jackson, but I'm like Ed Gray. I produce the child. Well, I had a little help with that. But I think we're going a little too far with this. Let me go ahead and talk about making it look good. Again, this music that we are playing now on the Commish Radio Show, loved by many, hated by few, respected by all, second to none. If you've been following us today, we've been having lots of fun. Go back, follow us on YouTube, Ed Gray 1906 on Instagram, Ed Gray 1906 on Twitter. Let's go ahead and invite other people to follow because, well, if you follow, you may learn something. You may be able to teach somebody something. It's no time, as Angelo had said earlier, it's no time for us to be quiet because, well, hey, everything's at stake here. And one of the things that's at stake that I want to talk to you about is something very local indeed. It's a lot of people try to avoid it because they don't want to go through the chances of being picked for jury duty. I went through this for a little while this week because, well, I got picked for jury duty. Now, I know that's not a big thing to some people, but for me, it's kind of big because, you know, I'm retired and sometimes I don't have anything to do. That's why you always see old people in jury service because we don't have anything to do. So, you know, but this time I just don't necessarily want to go to jury duty, but I've always answered the call. This time in answering the call, the United States government sent me jury summons. Angelo, you ever got a jury summons from the United States government?
I don't think I have yet, no.
No, it comes a little different. See, it comes a little different because, well, they know a lot more about you than the people down at the county courthouse knows. They will actually call your phone. Right here. They know where you at. They will call your phone. So this is what happened. You know, I don't check my mail every day because it's no need for me to check my mail because nobody writes me. They never send me any letters. Nobody does that. You know, they don't do that, you know. And what I normally do is I get my mail, and I get my mail about once a week or so. Mail's that thick. The postal workers comes by knocking on the door sometimes, just want to check to see whether or not you live there. Well, that being said, I got a phone call. It was an automated phone call saying this is the United States Northern District of the United States government, Northern District of Texas. You were sent a jury summons 2 weeks ago. You have not answered. Let you know I have not answered and went to the mailbox. So I said, they have my telephone number. They called me up. And they saying, go check the mail. You know, the rest of it says the same stuff. It's jury duty, is your responsibility as an American citizen. So I go ahead and I get the mail. And when I go ahead and I get the mail, I see a big package that says United States Government Northern District of Texas on it. So I get this package, I open it up, and it says you are summoned to go to jury duty. I said, I mean, dang. First thing I think of is, how did they get my telephone number? And people always say, I don't want to vote because I may be called to jury duty. I vote all the time, but I never gave them my telephone number. not the United States government. So they called me up, and I went to jury duty. So they gave me a couple of weeks to go to jury duty, and lo and behold, I filled out the questionnaire. The questionnaire asked all these different questions and everything, questions that didn't make any sense or anything like that. And then they go ahead, after I fill it up, 1 week before I'm to report, which is this Monday, they sent me another voice message. And the voice message says, you are to report to jury duty on such and such a date. So what happened to us going down there and picking it out? And they going through voir dire, and they pick who they want or whatever. They said, first of all, you need to call in. They said, well, don't even worry about that. Just report to jury duty. So, Angelo, let's put up that first slide. So I get up that morning, Monday morning. I have to do what you people have to do every day. When you people have jobs, of course. God bless you. Keep going to work. But I have to do what you people do. I sound so condescending, didn't I? Hate doing that. Well, I had to get up and do what you people do and go to work. And first thing happens, I get stuck in a traffic jam. Here it is, 7:30. My God, you people go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning? How can you do that? I'm normally having coffee looking at the news at 7:30. You guys are actually at work at 7:30? So anyway, I go ahead and I go to, he's coming in here for some reason. He's just coming in and interrupting the show, interrupting my flow. So anyway, back again to what's happening now. Before I was interrupted by the guy who just came in and interrupted the flow. Well, so then what ended up happening is that I go and I park and I go through the magnet. I can't think of what word they use for it. I go through the security detail for it, and I go through the security detail. And as you know, I had surgery on my legs, and my legs went off. No, they didn't actually go off. They just set the wand off. So they moved me to the side, and I get moved to the side. And when I get moved to the side, I'm having to go ahead and be wanded down by the security there. And they, at the federal government, they worse than TSA people. They worse than TSA people. So they actually know what they're doing. Well, not like TSA people don't, but TSA people, some of them wasn't getting paid, so some of them may not care. But these guys, they got paid. So they wanted me down and everything, and they let me go inside. So I go inside, and I see that picture of Donald Trump. You know, the mean one, the mugshot. And I say, this is going to be a hell of a day. So I sit in line, or shall I say, I stood in line with some other people that were going to court. Now, keep in mind, this is at the Earl Campbell building downtown. Big office building of federal workers. But it didn't dawn on me till I started making this video that nobody was in the building. Nobody, Angelo, was in the building except the people that were going for jury duty. The building was cleared. Nobody was in the building. So we go through security, and then we go into the jury room. And they gave us the jury numbers that we were going to have and where we were going to sit at. I was number 49. It was 175 people there. 125 people there in that one room. So I'm thinking, well, you know, last time I went to jury duty with the federal government, they came through, they asked a bunch of questions, and they started excluding people, and I got picked to be on that jury. 12 people, I ended up being a jury foreman. So I'm thinking that this is the way it's going to happen this time around. Didn't happen like that. Everybody was going to be questioned. So 50 of us went up to the jury box. We went up to the courtroom. The other 75 people were there. They were stuck right there. Man comes through, looks through, he sees how many people are there. He said, wow. And then he walks out. I said, well, it doesn't mean anything to me. We eat lunch, and then we get called back into the jury room. We all sit down in our respective chairs. Then they call the 75th up to the other 75 people. These 75 people go up. We go up, and we are all there in the courtroom. Now, when we go to the courtroom, before we go to the courtroom, we all line up like we in grade school. We all line up, and we all go into the courtroom. There's also a bailiff there to call our names out as we're going through the door, and we sit down. They call my name out. I answer affirmative. He points to where I'm supposed to sit at, and we sit down. But before we get to that point, we all are in a hallway, and we're in the hallway, and I notice this guy right here to the left of me, and I said, that guy looks familiar. I said, is that who I think it is? He comes out of the defendant's room. He comes out of the defendant's room with 12 attorneys, Angelo. The guy had 12 attorneys. 12 attorneys. And then the other side comes out, and they have 12. So they said, you have 12, we have 12. We both have 12. And I look at him, and I said, isn't that Rex Tillerson? Angelo, Rex Tillerson used to be Secretary of State of the United States of America. He was in a succession line to be president if something happened, if there was an assassination, God forbid. That's how powerful this guy was. He runs ExxonMobil. They're being sued, and they're being sued in a class action suit. Now, I can't tell you anything about what happened other than what you can obviously read in the newspapers and also online. But we went through, he sat down, and run a picture of Donald Trump up now. So there he is walking through, and I'm saying, dang, this is a big case. This guy used to negotiate for ExxonMobil with Russia, and then when he became Secretary of State, he negotiated deals and represented the United States all over the world. And here he is, a couple of feet away from me. So we go into the courtroom, and they ask those questions, and they give you the answers that you already need to know. And the basic answer is there a reason why you can't serve on a jury? He said, and school teacher, those same things. And you answer yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. They said, do you know anyone that's in the defendant's chair that is being sued? I say, I really don't know this guy, but I know of him. And see, that's the deal when you know somebody, but you really don't know him. Do you really know him, or do you know him? I don't know the answer to that. So I asked the judge that. People started laughing. And he says, that's a good question. People stopped laughing then. Because I knew this person, and I knew this person had worked for Donald Trump, and I knew this person that worked for ExxonMobil. I knew this person also ran the Boy Scouts. He's a chief Boy Scout in the United States of America. I knew all this stuff. I knew him. Rex Tillerson's, frankly speaking, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Didn't take no shit off of Trump. That's the reason why Trump fired him. Hey, asked him to resign. But, am I biased about this thing? I think I can handle it or whatever. But I didn't get picked because of that. But the whole deal is on this is I want everyone to know that when you're going through jury duty, it's necessary. It's necessary, and it's important because we still have that system that works. Somewhat to an extent, unless you talk about the Supreme Court and the decision they made this week. But nevertheless, I digress. Let's go back to Rex Tillerson. That is the importance of what we're dealing with right now. The importance of this. And one of the questions they had asked, do you know any lawyers? And I said, yes. Said, name the lawyers. I said, it's too many for me to name because most of them have been on my radio podcast. If you were listening earlier, you probably heard a lot of their voices on it. Do you know any policemen? Yes, several. They've been on my radio podcast again. I can give an opinion. I can give it without bias, but we all remain a little biased one way or another. But what is important is that you have 12 people in a juror's box, and all of them with different varying degrees of education and life experience can determine the fate of a person or of a company. And that's the system we have for now. And to be honest with you, it was a quite enjoyable day, Monday. So the next time you get that jury summons, answer it. Don't wait 2 weeks and have the United States government to call you up and ask you, what are you doing? Thank you for listening to the Commish Radio Show. But above all else, make it look good.